fellow YouTubers. So I'm back at you with another Pipe Thoughts video. I got some delicious Kentucky Select. And I'm sick and tired of the bullying in our society. Kids are getting bullied into suicide, and that's not alright, man. There's an article I'm going to post in the description box below. And this kid, Ashton Potts, full of life. You know, he's the kid I'm talking about right now. Rest in peace, man. You had your whole life ahead of you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I went through bullying as a kid, and I hated it. But these days, kids are getting bullied on social media, on the bus, and at school, and at home. And they're getting bullied from 3 to 4 different places, and they have no escape for it, you know? I could tell Ashton wasn't bullied at home. I could tell that he was brought up in a loving household, which is good. So the only time this poor kid had escaped from the bullies was on the weekends and after school. And the thing about social media, YouTube... Hold on a second. Charlite. The thing about social media is you can take a break from it. You don't have to be on it. You know? You don't. But what's one thing that social media and the school system has in common? You have a right to a harassment-free experience. YouTube, Facebook, and the school system have a zero-tolerance policy for harassment. Bullshit! Bullshit! Oh. I had something stuck in my throat. Hold on a second. Yeah, no, but that's so fucking true it hurts, dude. Now I get it when you're in charge of monitoring YouTube accounts, when you're put in charge of running a website, when you're put in charge of watching kids for a school day, and there's a lot of kids to watch, a lot of channels, you know, I get that. It can be overwhelming at times. It's not your job to babysit people, but at the same time, when someone's coming to you with a legit issue of, hey, this person's harassing me, fucking do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't have to result in mass shootings or suicide, you know? Like, I'm sick of it. 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 Beyond sick of it, YouTube. I'm going to post the link in the description box below. It's on the Fox 43 channel. And, well, if this kind of thing would upset you, then I wouldn't read it. But, like, Ashton Potts was full of life. He liked everybody. He liked babies. He liked animals. He loved to play football. Full of life. And that's why he got picked on, is because he was full of life. It's fucked, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? People see people who are just full of life and, you know, people either gravitate towards that or they hate on it. You know what I'm saying? And another true factor of this, too, is that when kids are getting bullied, other kids will walk by, see it, they won't report it because they don't want to be called a snitch. And they won't do anything to stop it because they don't want to get bullied too. You know what I'm saying? That's so true though. Like, when it comes to bullying in schools, a lot of kids will just walk away if they see someone else getting bullied because they don't want to get bullied too. And they don't tell a teacher because they don't want to get called a snitch. Or a tattletale. You know? But is it really tattletaling when... you know, when someone else is making it difficult for you to get a good education by harassing you? When they're making your social experience at school a living hell. How is it tattletaling when you're sticking up for somebody? When you're sticking up for somebody, how is it? You know what I'm saying? But nobody likes getting called a poopy-faced tattletale snitch. Nobody likes getting bullied. So because of that shit, a lot of people won't do anything to step in or help. And as a result, you know, you got these teens and these younger millennials who are either pulling school shootings or killing themselves. And that's not okay. Fuck mass shootings and fuck suicide, like straight up. If you're being bullied or harassed, talk to somebody you trust, you know, and get it resolved. Gothic King Cobra's way of dealing with bullies. When I got bullied in school when I was younger, I did try to give teachers the benefit of the doubt when they tell me to ignore it and walk away. Right. How often does that work? And I let it go on for a couple months or so before I'm like, you know, teachers ain't doing shit. They're making it worse. It's been a couple months. They ain't stopping. So I guess I'm going to have to stop it myself. And I stopped it by kicking their ass. 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? Violence should be a last resort. And if you're going to beat up your bully, beat them up. Don't kill them. Don't kill yourself. Just kick their ass. Don't resort to violence right away. You know, try to give your fellow students and teachers the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, you know, somebody will step in and put a stop to it. But if they don't, then, and here's what happens. When you beat up your bully in front of a bunch of students and you win the fight, other students see that and they're going to go, yeah, no, I'm not going to fuck with that guy because he just kicked that other guy's ass. Oh, yeah. As an example, when I was in junior high, kids would, for whatever reason, just decide, we're going to hit Saunders in the nuts because it's funny. Why the fuck not? So one day when it happened, and I was in the cafeteria, just chilling, some kid did it, and I got up off my chair. I took the chair I was sitting on, and I smacked him across the head with it. He went flying onto the ground. I chucked the chair to the side. I got on top of the little bastard, UFC style, and started punching the ever-living shit out of him. And everyone saw that, too, and I'm like, I am tired of everybody hitting me in the nuts. This ends now. And after that, students quit hitting me in the nuts, because they're like, ooh, I don't want to get my ass kicked by Saunders here, okay? Yeah, you know. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you should be. Like, don't just immediately start kicking their ass, you know. Try to be fair and give the teachers the benefit of the doubt. To be fair, if there's like 10 teachers, 1 principal, 1 superintendent, 2 lunch ladies, and 3 custodians, and like a 2,500 plus student body population, they're not going to catch everything, dude. It is what it is. That's understandable. However, if your school says, we have a zero tolerance policy for bullying, then enforce it. Don't just sweep it underneath the rug like Big Pharma does when it comes to this country's pill addiction. Okay? Do something about it. I get tired of making these videos. I sound like a fucking broken record at this point. And it doesn't matter how many anti-bullying posters you put up, how many anti-bullying videos you put up. It's not enough. Getting the police involved to stop bullying in schools, not enough. No. I'm thinking Ashton's Law. And I'm thinking, okay, if your kid gets caught bullying another student severely, then the parent or parents of that kid get a $400 ticket, and then that kid who's doing the bullying has to do community service. That'll put a stop to it right there. Trust and belief. If parents have to pay $400 because your kid's being disrespectful, ooh, that would piss a lot of parents off. Trust and belief. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. When you're in music class and it costs a shit ton of money to replace your instrument if it breaks, parents are always telling their kids, you better be super careful with that instrument because I am not going to buy you a new one if that breaks. Same concept, man. Same exact concept. Now, to give you a better idea of who Ashton Potts was, I'm going to watch the Fox 43 video, and this will give you an idea of just how insanely messed up this is. How many of you out there have kids, your parents out there, you know what I'm saying? This is something you have to ask yourself. Is, you know, how do we put a stop to bullying so my kid's not a victim?
A York County father says bullying is to blame for the recent suicide of his 12-year-old son. He says his son was bullied while riding the school bus, at school, and online. Thanks for staying with us tonight. I'm Evan Forrester.
And I'm Allie Bradley. Fox 43's Grace Griffin spoke with the boy's father and grandfather tonight. She's now joining us with more on why they're choosing to talk about Ashton's death.
Ashton Potts' dad says the bullying has to stop, and kids need to understand the power of their words.
I lost my son because of other kids' words.
Dave Potts is now left with just photos of his 12-year-old son, Ashton.
Every single one of them bring back memories.
According to Potts, Ashton loved the beach, enjoyed playing football, and had the biggest heart.
He would go out his way for anybody. He loved other kids and babies, and he loved animals.
Potts says Ashton recently took his own life because of bullying.
He was bullied bad in school and on the school bus. And
here's the thing of it. You hear that? Ashton Potts was the kind of kid that would go out of his way to help anybody. Yep. Which brings me to my next point. Unfortunately, good people get messed with all the time. People take other people's kindness as a sign of weakness, and then people take advantage of you. And it makes me sick to my stomach, YouTube.
Ashton was attending Northeastern Middle School in York County. This year, Potts thought it might be different for his son.
This year we didn't really know too much. He didn't really say much about it. We asked him about it. He said he just started middle school. He said he liked having a locker.
We found the Northeastern Middle School student handbook online, and within it, an outline of the anti-bullying program. Part of it reads, any type of harassment could result in disciplinary consequences and/or police charges. Ashton's grandfather says that's not enough.
They need to buckle down, really. You know, they say it's zero tolerance, but it's not. It's not. You know, they can put all the posters up on the walls they want, you know. But, I mean, when a child does something, they need to be held accountable for it.
According to a mental health specialist, suicide is becoming more common among today's youth. She says it's important for adults to recognize the warning signs, and crucial, children have someone in their lives they can trust.
One of the most important things, and that is actually a protective factor in a youth, is having one person, one adult-play person close to you. That's actually a protective factor. That's the number one protective factor for youth, believe it or not. Because if you think about it, it's that role model, that person that is constant.
Ashton's father says Newberry Township Police are investigating his son's death. We reached out to both the police department and the school district, but no one has gotten back to us yet. If you or someone you know is struggling, we have mental health resources on our website, fox43.com.
Yep. Bullying and suicide have become a real problem in our society, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop, YouTube. And, you know, when you heard the dad say, well, we thought this year would be different. That leads me to believe that this kid had a history with bullies prior to middle school. We thought this year would be different. Fuck. We thought this year would be different. And of course, the school's not going to reach out to Fox 43 on this because that just makes their school look bad. Oh, one of our students killed themselves because of the bullying. You know? So who wants to be the person to say, "Oh yeah, this is my school and we're sorry this happened at our school, but we'd like to assure everybody that we take bullying very seriously here, blah, 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 blah." And as soon as they say that, you're going to be like, oh, really? You want to go on Fox 43 and say you take bullying seriously and that this kind of thing is never going to happen again. Well, what's that going to do for Ashton, man? Like, come on. Ashton's Law, I'm telling you, Facebook and YouTube and social media. If parents had to pay $400 for some kid of theirs bullying another kid, oh, that put a stop to it real quickly. Trust and believe. Now, is it sad that we have to consider giving parents a hefty fine just to get bullying to stop? Yes, it's incredibly sad. We shouldn't have to rely on outlandish punishments just to get bullying to stop, but food for thought, man, because you're sitting here with all these anti-bullying messages, and obviously it's not doing a bit of good. You're sitting here with all these anti-bullying messages, and kids are still getting bullied. So, obviously the anti-bullying messages aren't working. Because if the anti-bullying messages were working, then I guarantee you the bullying would have stopped by now. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you, though, if it was something like that, oh, trust and believe, you know what I'm saying, that might put a stop to it. If parents had to pay $400 for their kids' bullying because bullying became against the law. But that's the thing of it, there's a gray area. I mean, with bullying in schools, you can actually trace and track that. But with bullying on social media, it's a little bit harder to track. So, I think if we got to a part in our society where the only bullying we experienced was on social media, then we'd be a little bit better off as a society. We wouldn't be perfect by any means, no. We wouldn't be perfect by any means, but, you know, at least kids would have an escape from it. You know what I'm saying? But if kids are getting bullied at school, on the school bus, and then they go on social media to get bullied, they're going to feel like they have no escape from it, and that's fucked. Ask yourself this one question. How would it feel to be in that person's shoes? To know that every day you went to school, you were miserable. And that's the thing of it, man. When you're entering junior high and high school for the first time, your world is changing, and a lot of kids at that age are scared of that change. So to cope with that change and being scared of it, they will bully other people because they're insecure with themselves. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's disgusting the society we live in anymore. Anyways, Thank you for watching this Pipe Thoughts video. I'll catch you later.